Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Get the Shot, brought to you by Tamron Australia. My name is Joe Orchard, I'm your host. I'm here today with my old neighbour, believe it or not, from Berlin. This is Josh Fusco, Commissioner of Series Futsal Victoria.
That's right, yeah.
That's right?
Yeah,
Yep,
Series
good.
Futsal Victoria.
Welcome to the show.
Joe, it's nice to see you again. It's nice to be this close. It's been
know,
a long
right?
time. It feels like, 3 years?
Yeah, weird to think that 3 years ago we were in the cold, grey, dark skies, hunkering in our little flats.
But you give anything to go back.
Oh, totally. If the second I could go back, I would. In addition to being the Commissioner of Series Futsal in Victoria, he also does a lot of creative directing and videography work, and so we're going to talk all about that. I think an interesting context thing that we need to establish, what the hell is futsal? Because I was telling people in the office today who I was interviewing, and they're like, futsal? So yeah, break that down for me.
So basically, everyone thinks futsal, soccer, it's the same thing, it's indoor. It's not. It's a completely different sport, different rules, it's passion. It's very close to basketball, like 5-on-5, fast pace.
So it's 5-on-5 soccer rules.
Well, it's not soccer rules, right? It's 5-on-5. It's a variation of football, association football, indoors, on a smaller scale with just slightly different rules. Like you can't pass back to the goalkeeper, for example. There's no offsides, and rarely can slide tackle.
Oh, so it's really fast paced and it's really quick and going?
Yeah, it's think of it like hockey or basketball. It's an amalgamation of soccer and basketball.
Okay, really interesting. How did you get involved in video and media side of that?
Well, I was doing some freelance work in outdoor soccer at a football club, and one of my friends was playing at the time and was working in and around that kind of atmosphere, and he came to me and he said, we need a cameraman, we just need to shoot this thing because I think the person that was doing it was sick or something. I said, I'm like 20, 19, I need a job, I'm in. Yeah. That's as easy as that. And then the rest is history, worked up from there.
And you've gone from being, you still do a bit of videography, but you also work with like broadcast and SBS and a few other big corporate gigs, right? It's gone quite elaborate.
Mainly freelance. When I do, for example, I did the Oz Championship with a presenter friend of mine, Adam Palumbi, fantastic presenter, and we just worked with I Want It Yesterday, based in Sydney, and they had a contract with SBS and got us to basically film little segments in between games, and they would put on the broadcast, and it was.
What was working on that like compared to futsal?
I think the stress level is completely different, right? Because the timing that you have when you're doing one of these outdoor games, and you for example, halftime will hit, you've got to be there within 15 seconds, camera on, ready, go. You've got about a minute to shoot it, run upstairs, find the media room, edit it quickly, upload it, send it through. The internet sucks all the time. It does, because it just has to. And that has to all be done within a 10-minute period so they can get it up live for their audience.
So how do you set that up? Do you have a previs edit or?
No. So we go there, we plan everything we want to do in advance. Obviously, what happens in the game we can't control, but we have a formula, okay, bang. We'll talk about this goal scorer, or if there's no goals, we'll talk about the ferocity of the game. My presenter friend will give his analysis. We have a pre-planned, intro, outro, get it into something like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, upload it. It just has to be so bulletproof that it can't fail.
Do you like that type of environment? High pressure, high intensity?
I'd say, of course, at the end of the day, that's why you kind of do it. You want to feel that pressure, especially when you get it done. When you fail at it, it's the worst thing in the world. But when it actually succeeds, you can actually look yourself in the mirror and say that, okay, I did a good job. We did a good job. On to the next one.
Isn't it interesting how the fails can motivate you, but also the successes can motivate you? And it's so different. It pushes you to make more, but it's actually opposite responses at times.
Yeah. I don't know what motivates you, but for me, it's I get my biggest bump of motivation when someone doubts me. Really? When someone's like, I don't think you can do that. That's not up too much for you. I just go, I want to prove you wrong.
Futsal.
Yep.
I find it really interesting. I've watched some of the replays that you guys have put up, Is it quite a small team that shoots the futsal videos and the broadcast for that?
Yeah, it's about if we count commentators, no commentators, 5-6 person team.
Okay.
You get in there, we have this wheelie kind of portable live streaming device that we sit behind, 2 screens, a big computer, we run through vMix, and a camera connected to a pole. If you saw a photo of this camera, you wouldn't believe that a camera could go on this pole.
Really?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's the most
janky.
absurd, janky setup ever, but it works.
Okay.
And it has to work like that because in futsal, you know, it's a lovely sport. It's one of the best in the world. I love it. The community's amazing, but there's no money. So you have to make do, and sometimes you have to realize that perfection, you cannot reach it. You just have to produce. You just have to get it up and get it going.
Is that your biggest point of friction? Lack of funding?
Absolutely. I mean, we could have a sensational stream, and we have before. We've done a TV live stream version that we sent to broadcasts called World Series Futsal, where it was basically we took what we were doing at the janky level and made it professional. Big camera setup, like 8 cameras, like a 20-person team. It was ridiculous. That's what we can achieve with the funding. Without it, we're forced to just make do.
You also shoot a lot of the promo videos associated with futsal.
Yep.
What's it like getting your hands on the camera and doing that sort of stuff?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Honestly, there's nothing like directing, especially because in futsal, like in any sport, like in any activity, you have those superstars, right? And we've had a few of them come, particularly last year. You know, we had a player called Superwatt. In Australia, he's not like a big player, do you know what I mean? No one knows him, but in Thailand, this guy's like royalty. Yeah. He's one of the best players in Asia, like 400,000 followers. He comes here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was flown here to play for one of our teams. And you meet this guy and it's like, oh, well, I have to shoot, you know, this guy who's used to being a star. I mean, futsal in Thailand gets like 10, 20,000 people watching at one time in the stadium.
In a stadium?
In the stadium.
Okay, and how many people watch it in Victoria?
Next question. No. On the live stream, we get about 2,500, 3,000 people a night. In person, look, 200.
Are you still hands-on with the camera? I know you do a bit of creative direction and just directing in general, but do you still get your hands on the camera often?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. Yeah. Look at the media landscape we're in, Joe. Like, I think we were educated like 5 years ago, let's say, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
How different was it back then? When you think of media?
Very different. In podcasting as a whole thing has taken off a lot more. Yeah. But that's a funny one because it's not like podcasting didn't exist 5-10 years ago, but it's now become something that's a lot more on people's mind. The cameras are just getting better and better to shoot sport as well. But yeah, you're totally right. And
I'm just talking about like I went to film school and they would tell you there's a director, there's a producer, there's a cinematographer and editor. Yeah. For the most things. It's when we started 5 years ago. Now it's like, you're the director, you're the producer, you're the DOP and you're the editor and you're doing the sound.
Does that stress you out, wearing all those hats?
No, because I think where I went to Swinburne, and I think they did a phenomenal job at actually educating how to get hands-on and not just teaching you how to direct, which would be a catastrophe in my opinion, especially with, you know, content creators needing to do everything. There's hardly, there is money in media, but, you know, maybe for the very top, if you're just starting out, you have to do everything to survive.
When you do sport videography, like what's your approach? What's your philosophy there?
In terms of how? Dealing with like, let's say actors, because I've done videography with actors, like for promos, are you talking about promos or actually shooting on the day?
Well, what's it like shooting a promo with actors? Because do you set up a shot list in your head or do you just sort of wing it like?
No, you have to set a shot list, right? Because the last one I did was a women's futsal promo. It's about a year ago, 2 years ago now. We rented out, say, like an Airbnb, used someone's house, got obviously the actors. So it's all time constraints. You have to think about how long do I have with this person before they get uncomfortable or they want to leave. You know what I mean? People want to, if you're dealing with, you know, actors and whatnot, they have lives too. They want to get a job done. They want you to be efficient. Right? So how long am I going to have this place for? If I have to pay the money to shoot the next day, how's my boss going to feel about that extra $400? You know, it's not easy.
So you're saying actors, when you're shooting promo videos with futsal, are you not shooting with athletes as well? Or like, how does...
So for the women's promo, I decided to go for something a bit more, you know, narrative based. Like we used a little girl as an actor and had her kind of imagine she was our players. You know, I think you've seen that old, probably soccer ad, like where they pretend to be like, I'm Ronaldo, back. Ronaldo. We tried something like that, and you know, you obviously dealing with someone so young, you need to be patient. You can't wing it because you need to be the person in charge at that stage, because you have to have the clear idea. They're going to think, how do I trust you?
Where do you want to see futsal in the future, and how do you want to sort of shoot it? Like, yeah.
I love the community now. I think we have really like a sensational, loving and caring, and like it's an intimate community. There's not that many people. I want to see that grow. I want to see stadiums packed out. You know, I want to see at least 400, 500, 600 people coming, supporting teams, because they're very advanced. We have players getting paid. We have teams that train every single week. It's a very good setup, and we know in football in Australia they have great setup. Obviously, futsal needs to follow that path.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to. If we have that money invested, those teams can find their own locations, branch out, establish themselves. What was the second part of your question?
And in terms of like shooting it and developing it that way, how do you want the media identity to evolve?
That's kind of a two-parter, right? When you think of media identity for any sport, you're thinking of the socials and then obviously the live stream and the broadcast.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the broadcast first. Right now we have one camera. That's not great, right? How do you watch sport with one camera? I think you can get away with it maybe in basketball, and they don't, you know. But you need that dynamic switch nowadays, because audiences, they can't concentrate on one thing for more than 10 seconds. So if you have that one camera going the entire time, even adding a few replays, I mean, what's going to keep them locked to the screen? Those even just two cameras. I think two cameras is enough to make the sport dynamic. It's that switch you can have every now and then that keeps them glued to the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're talking about social media identity, my direction has changed from when I started. I took it a bit more seriously when I started in terms of how we should approach the sport. Speaking with a great mentor of mine, Michael Chavello, who worked with us, he was a commentator, one of the biggest commentators in Asia, award winner. When I spoke with him and talked to him about media identity, he always said to me, you know, you need to focus on what makes humans humans and not just about the sport of futsal. So if you want to build that community, find out what makes those people in the community tick, right? If you have a player, don't just show them playing futsal, don't just show them playing sport, show them they love vinyl, they love chess, they love a whole bunch of different things. What makes them individual, I think that branches off into other directions. So if you have a player that loves chess, a bunch of chess players might be like, oh, this guy likes chess, I like chess, he plays futsal, let's check it out.
Yeah, and then you can shoot him playing chess as part of the promos, and it actually no longer becomes sport videography per se. It actually becomes filmmaking.
Yeah, it's filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yes. Now can you get me, right? You have to build the narrative for these players and people, because they are people, right?
Yeah.
And you have to show the human side of them.
Yeah.
How are you going to connect with them just kicking a ball?
You need a Welcome to Wrexham documentary series.
Welcome to Wrexham. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but...
I think I watched the first season.
Yeah.
But they're doing okay.
Yeah, they're doing bad.
You also have shot short films and other things like that. How does your approach to that change to shooting something sport?
Ooh, I don't think it does, to be honest with you.
Really?
I don't think it does. I'd say this, when mainly I shoot documentary stuff, so it's very similar in essence. You're dealing with people. I know my last documentary I was dealing with a very tender subject, and it's the same thing as when you're dealing with sports athletes. You're dealing with egos, you know, at different ends of the scale sometimes, but it's still egos, and you're just dealing with people. So as long as you get them to trust you and trust what you're doing, and you can connect with them on some human way, I don't see how there really anything changes when you're shooting people.
When do you know to get the shot, and sort of when do you know not to get the shot? Because it's a fine balance, and when things are a bit turbulent or chaotic, sometimes it feels like the best moment to start filming. But what's your barometer for that?
Sometimes you can just feel it in the air. It's like,
Yeah.
if you come in with a camera right now, you're going to get hooked.
Shit.
They're not going to like you very much. I've had times when I got away with it. We've had a few, let's say, scuffles in futsal, and I've just chucked the camera in, taking some photos, videoing right here.
Yeah.
What's happening here? We're not going to use it, right? But it's more for my own amusement because I'm a psycho. But at the end of the day, like, you could feel it in the air. You know when, okay, look, this person needs, and it all comes down to the human element at the same time, right? This person, he's a human being. Would I want to be filmed in that situation? No. Step back. It's more important that you treat people with respect than it is to exploit them and get footage and make a quick buck with some views.
For someone who's getting into sport videography, what do they need to sort of get started and get going? What would you suggest?
Like the actual equipment, or just what they just need to drive. You just get out of bed and say, I want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to go to a club and say, I want to start here. A friend of mine did it like 2 weeks ago. He went to his local footy club. It's like, can I just start making content with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Got paid for it later on, but there was always that risk. But if you don't, again, getting into sports videography, if you don't love it, is very different than if you love it. If you love it, that's going to drag you through the mud.
Really?
I think so. Why else would you do the dirty work? Like, you're going there, sometimes it's raining. Like, if you've ever been to a soccer match, it's raining, and you're with your Sony, and you're just like, this camera is going to get destroyed. All for this one shot.
We've spoken to a few people who've done sport and like live music photography, and they'll have like 2 bodies on them with different lenses.
Yeah.
I think videography is an interesting space because you don't really have the 2 body luxury, especially when you're operating with a gimbal.
Yeah.
Do you miss shots a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was filming cricket the other week, a freelance job, and there was a great catch, and I just missed it.
Yeah. But was that a technical thing, or did you actually just not see it?
No. So what happened was he was so close to me that have you seen that meme on Instagram? Where it's like the worst time to have like a zoom lens and the celebration's right in front of you. It's exactly the same thing. He's caught it like here, and I'm just like, well, what am I going to do now? It's just covered the camera.
The final thing that we do on the pod is that the previous guest leaves a question for the current one. I'm going to have to read this because it's a bit elaborate, but I think you'll be able to answer it and understand it. Do you think the integration of AI into the photo editing process, e.g. Photoshop's generative fill, is a good or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah?
I don't look. I think, again, if you asked me 5 years ago, different answer. You just have to look at history and think to yourself, over time, how have people utilized the tools that they've had to advance the direction that they want to go creatively, right? Would we say the same thing about moving image, replacing radio?
Yeah.
Is that a good or bad thing? It's a good thing. It's an advancement. You can do new things. You can try new things. I think AI will take away a lot of hard, laborious kind of tasks, and that gives you more opportunity to be creative, which I think is important. Now, if you talk about AI replacing creativity, I don't think it quite can yet. I would say that would be a negative. But for these tasks, save time, focus where it matters: storytelling, narrative, human connection.
Rick Rubin, I'm just going to add a caveat to all of this. He famously said on this podcast about AI that AI is completely rational. It's numbers, it's process, it's functions, but humans are irrational. And sometimes some of the best creativity has come from irrational decision making.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really interesting thing, that generative fill, or could you imagine generative fill in videos when that just becomes readily available?
I think it'll be, look, like anything, there'll be a little bit of a novelty at the start, but I don't see a problem with, you just missed this little corner of your shot. If you have AI and you can extend the shot out just a little bit, maybe extend the beach out, it looks a little bit better. Where's the issue? It's like color grading to an extent. It's like it's an edit.
Okay, what about a context, let's say futsal, adding more people into a crowd?
That's good. That's good. I see why they pay you the big bucks. Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and that's where it probably delves into the unethical, because you're lying to people. to an extent too. But then again, I think one of my favourite filmmakers, my inspiration, Orson Welles, would be like, filmmaking is just a big lie anyway, isn't it? It's just a magic trick. So I think we'll let other people have that opinion there, because it's an unanswerable question. It's all ethics.
Josh, it's been lovely having you on the podcast. It's been lovely catching up again. It's been a little bit too long. If you want to find out what Josh asks the next guest, tune in next week and find out. But thanks again for coming on. Where can people find you?
Ooh, you can firstly find us at Series Futsal Victoria on Instagram. Give it a follow, support the sport. It's a fantastic project, great community. You might find out you love something, and you could find me, Joshua__Fusco on Instagram, because someone's got my name.
Really?
Yep. I can't believe it. And it's not even an active account.
Oh.
It's an inactive account. It's got my name.
God damn it. All
Yep.
right. I'll send Instagram a DM. Being like, can I have this back? Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
No worries. See you next week, everyone.